Hello, so I will be briefly discussing academic language in my subject area, which is history, social science. So to begin, here's a little background information regarding academic language. So understanding the academic language of history and social science, this has been inspired from the EdTPA handbook on academic language regarding history, social science subjects. So, academic language has to do with the oral and written language that is used for academic purposes. In other words, it is like the language of the discipline, and essentially it's used to engage students in learning. And there are various ways students develop and express content understandings that are reflected within academic language as well. So, moving forward, academic language in history and social science classes consists of language demands, which are function, vocabulary and symbols, discourse, and syntax. And I'm going to get into these various language demands. So to begin, function is defined as the purposes for which language is used, and content and language focus are essentially the active verbs and learning outcomes, oftentimes. So for example, students will be able to compare, students will be able to explain, students will be able to describe. So here we can see that compare, explain, and describe serve as the language function in these learning outcomes. To continue, vocabulary and symbols. Sorry about that. Vocabulary and symbols are another part of academic language or language demands in history and social science. So to define these, they have to do with words, phrases, symbols that have subject-specific meanings. So, for example, table, ruler, key, power, class, charter, and state. So these vocabulary terms, they have subject-specific meanings that go beyond just regular, ordinary, everyday meanings of these words. So, for example, obviously, a ruler in everyday language, that would be used to measure something. However, in a history class, it would have to do with someone who's a ruler of an ancient kingdom, for example. And also there's general academic vocabulary that is used across disciplines. These consist of, for example, compare, analyze, evaluate, describe. And here, just to make a quick connection back to function, we see compare, explain, describe, and then here we see these words as well. So it's important to understand that these are also vocabulary symbols. And then there's also subject-specific words and or symbols that are used in the disciplines. So for example, in history or social science, these have to do with, for example, constitution, republic, frontier, alliance, and neutrality, just to name a few. Moving forward to discourse. So discourse is essentially how members of a discipline talk, write, and participate in knowledge construction, and this can be both written and oral language. This also includes different features and ways of structuring oral or written language or representing knowledge visually. So it's also important to know that discourse can be oral, written, visual. So for example, constructing arguments, such as debates, interpreting primary or secondary sources, writing speeches or essays, and analyzing political cartoons. And these are common things that we do within history, social science classes as well. So connecting back to academic language in history, social science. So also, last but not least, is syntax. So regarding syntax, these are the rules for organizing words or symbols together into phrases, clauses, sentences, or visual representations. And it's the way that we organize language in order to convey meaning. And examples of this are sentences that could be about cause and effect, using longitude and latitude for location, for example, within a geography class, claims, creating claims, and also citations and learning how to properly cite from various sources as well. And the source I used primarily was the EdTPA Handbook on History, Social Science, Academic Language. Thank you.